Hey guys, what's up? Yokurama here. Today, I will be bringing you guys an anime first impressions of 20 anime series that have all started in the summer 2012 season. This is just my first impression from the first and for some series from the second episode that I've seen so far that has come out. So my opinions of the series will most likely change towards their finishing time, but I'm making this video for you guys that are thinking that, man, I should maybe start a couple of new airing anime. Hopefully this video will help you choose the ones that you will think are the most interesting for you. So let's get on with the video. The first one we'll be talking about is Arcana Famiglia. This is a JC Staff romance shoujo mafia series, and it's really interesting and probably the series that has one of the most potential of the season. I'm not saying that it's probably going to be one of the best of the season, but it definitely has the chance to do that. The animation is pretty good for JC Staff because JC Staff is either really good or really bad. At the moment, I can't really make up my mind if it's really good, but I'm really liking the vibrant colors and such. And it being about a mafia, that is freaking awesome because the only other mafia anime, not manga because there's a lot of manga about mafia, but the only mafia anime that I've ever seen apart from this one is Reborn, and I totally love the concept of mafia, so it's really nice to get a new mafia anime. So if you're into mafias and all that kind of stuff, then I definitely suggest to check it out because it is great so far and it has a very beast opening and ending. Next one is Binbougami Ga. Now, this is a very strange anime by Sunrise. It's an action comedy adventure parody supernatural ecchi anime, and it really isn't something that Sunrise usually does. So going into it, I'm just like, okay, this is probably gonna be a very weird ecchi, and yes, it kind of was a very weird ecchi, but it was a very funny one. If you want something funny and with very good animation, since it's done by Sunrise, I definitely recommend you check this one out. Next one is Campione, a comedy magic romance harem series. From the first episode, I did not see any harem aspects, but it is a genre that is listed for this series. So later on, he's probably gonna meet more chicks, but at the moment, there's only one chick, and they're pretty much god fighters. They fight gods to protect the world. You know how all these natural disasters happen, like hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes? Really, it's actually gods fighting and causing all this havoc. And only these certain people can see these gods, and what they do is they try to stop them so that they won't completely destroy the earth. And yes, the concept sounds very nice, and from the first episode, it was decent, but the concept sounds better than it actually is in the anime. But hopefully I'm wrong and later on it gets very good, but at the moment, it's nothing something special, but definitely something that I'd keep my eye on. Next one is Chitose Get You, and this is an anime that has 3-minute long episodes. I know that like nobody in the freaking anime community talks about these littles because these are pretty lame, but I find them funny. Like Recorder and Rancel and Poyo Poyo, and now this Chitose Get You. All of these series I actually enjoy a lot. So if you want to watch some little comedy bits like between your loading time of a video, or while you're downloading something, or while you're loading into a game of League of Legends or something, then this is definitely a series that you should check out. The next one is Utakoi, and this is a historical josei. Okay, has anybody here heard of the anime series known as Chihayafuru? Yeah, it's like nobody knows that series. But if you know that series, you know about the whole Karuta game that they play with those 100 poems. Well, this anime is an anime about those 100 poems. And you might think like, well, it's about poetry? This anime is about poetry? That sounds boring. But no, this series is funny, it's cute, it has really good romance, plus some good classic poetry. So definitely check it out. This is probably one of my favorite anime of the season so far, and I seriously cannot wait for the next episode. Plus, this is good at setup for you to learn about the actual poetry, and it's funny because the first episode is actually about the poem Chihayafuru. So it kind of makes me think that, okay, is this series brought to us because of how good Chihayafuru Season 1 did? And it is pretty good setup, you know, for us to learn about the poems right before Chihayafuru Season 2 comes out, which I cannot wait for. So check it out, I cannot recommend it enough. The next one is Dakara Boku wa. It has a longer name, but that's what I'm gonna call it. Nobody cares. This is probably the worst anime I started this season, and I don't know why I'm watching it. Maybe it's because I personally enjoy a bit of ecchi once in a while, but without really explaining the story, I'm pretty much gonna put this as the High School DxD of this season. That is what this is. It's a High School DxD of the summer season. So if you enjoy High School DxD, if you enjoy ecchis, check this out, because this is probably something up your alley. The next one is Hagure Yusho no Estetica. Now this is one I'm probably most disappointed in because it sounded so cool. Like, what does a hero do after he defeats the last boss? After he defeats the Demon King, what does he do? Where does he go? And I thought it was gonna be something epic, but from the first episode, I kinda was bored with it. This is also probably one of my least favorite anime of this season, but I really do hope that it does pick up and something more interesting happens because the concept sounds pretty cool. Next one is Jinrui wa Suitai Shimashita. Wow, that's a very Japanese name, but in English it's called Humanity Has Declined. Okay, this is one of the weirdest anime I have started in the longest time. Like, to tell you how weird it is, this girl goes on an investigation of this factory, led by a fairy on a string like a compass. Later on, goes into this factory, finds a talking piece of loaf that commits suicide by ripping his head open, and all of the jam, but technically blood and guts and brain, just flow out of it, and he just passes out. Yeah, that's basically the most memorable part of episode 1. Very weird. Very, very weird. Next one is Joshiraku. This anime is pretty much about nothing and about everything. It's this group of 5 girls that just sit around and talk about random topics that pop up to their minds. They start on one topic and completely end up on another topic, and the conclusions they come to are just so over-exaggerated, so funny. I enjoyed the first episode. It's funny because all they do is just sit around and talk, and they made this one joke in the first episode, how they pretty much don't even need to be an anime. They could just stay as a manga because all they do is just sit around and talk. They barely move. So it's funny how this series is actually making fun of itself, and I really love when anime make fun of themselves. It's also done by JC staff, so I don't think they could screw up this one because all the characters do is sit around and talk about random things that pop to their minds. Next one is Kingdom, the CGI seinen battle historical military series. It is produced by Studio Period, who do your favorites like Naruto and such like that, and they also did my favorite Yu Yu Hakusho, and they decided to take a different route and make this seinen action military series CGI. And this is probably the thing that turns most people away from this series, because they watch the first 5 minutes of the episode and the characters are like moving like robots, and their lips are like randomly jumping around, and their eyes are blinking like those creepy dolls. I think that's a big turnoff to the series. Personally, for me, it took me about 3 weeks to watch the first episode, because this is a series actually that is already 6 episodes in, and it's gonna be a 38 long episode series. It had like an early start compared to the other summer season series, but it seriously took me 3 freaking weeks to get through the first episode, and it's even harder because the first episode's 45 minutes. It's like a double feature. But once you get past that first episode and start ignoring the CGI, which is pretty damn bad. Like, I gotta watch this from very far away. I have a 27-inch iMac, and I have to like lay on my bed over there because I want to like be very far away so I won't really notice the CGI effect. But once you get past the CGI, once you get past the first episode, you find out that the story is actually very good. It's a pretty damn interesting story, and I enjoy these sort of stories. It might not be like the most original or the most like crazy thought out stories. It's actually pretty cliche, but it's still something that I really enjoy. And so far, the first 6 episodes have been great. The only thing, like I said, CGI. Why did you make a CGI? They should just went the normal route. It's probably cheaper the normal route. I don't know. I'm not gonna talk about it now. I'm not gonna rant about it. This might be a whole different video. When the review comes for this series, I'll be talking about it. I don't know. I have a lot to say about the series, as you can tell, since I've been probably talking about it the most out of any other series so far. And I'm talking really fast. I usually don't talk this fast. I usually talk really, really slow. I guess I got like the Giga disease going on or something. But moving on. Next one is Koi Choco, which is the short name for the series. I'm not gonna say the long name, so I'm sorry. But this one is probably the one that made me think the most and made me actually go back and look up some things in the actual episode, because this is a slice of life drama, romance, school series about student council and that kind of stuff. But I think there's a lot more to this series, because after the first episode, you know, in the beginning we see this weird part where a girl gets run over by a freaking car, and then we see a whole like school life episode, and then at the end we see that little girl in the hospital, and I'm just like, what? Is there like 2 stories going on at once? What's going on? So I'm definitely interested to see what's going to be happening later on with this series. So I definitely recommend this one, because I think this one is actually going to be very interesting with some deeper plot twists going on. I totally might be wrong later on, but this is my impression from the first episode. Next one is Kokoro Connect. This is the Freaky Friday of anime. Yes, there's a club, students change bodies multiple times actually, and that is so far the series. Nothing really else I could say about it. It was interesting. It wasn't like the best thing this season, but definitely wasn't the worst, but something that I am definitely gonna continue. And if you like sort of like body switching type of stories, then you will enjoy this. Next one is Naka Emo, and I'm not gonna say the long name because that was obviously the short name, since Japanese people don't like short names. They like freaking long names. The translation to English of the name is one of them is My Little Sister. This is a harem school comedy romance series that so far has been a pretty cliche series when it comes to harems. But the whole twist that one of the girls that is a part of that harem is his long lost sister, she actually remembers him, and he doesn't remember her because he was like hit in the head, has this big scar in his head. So what he's trying to do is to find a girl to get married to so that he could take over his dad's company, but he does not want to fall in love with his sister. Sounds interesting. Hopefully it doesn't get any incest going on, but I did enjoy it. I do like myself some harems once in a while. So if you're a harem fan, this is a pretty different type of harem, a little harem with a little bit of twist. So definitely check it out. Next one is Muv-Luv Alternative Total Eclipse, and so far I've seen 2 episodes of it. This is an action mecha sci-fi military seinen series. So if you don't like mechas, then this is probably not for you. Also, if you don't like blood and seeing girls getting eaten and all this gore, then this is probably also not for you. It's a story about aliens attacking Earth, humans fighting back. They're actually on the verge of a possibility of extinction, so they have to fight back these crazy aliens called Beta. Okay, the first episode, in my opinion, sucked. Especially, I was actually looking forward to it. I watched the first episode, I'm like, this is gonna be crap. But then, I watched the second episode, and I have high hopes that it does get better. Hopefully, it just starts getting better from now on, from episode 2 and onwards. So if you watched episode 1, or if you watch episode 1, do not drop the series until you watch episode 2. If you do not like episode 2, then you can drop the series. Next one is Natsuyuki Rendezvous. Now, this is my second favorite anime of the season. This is a drama romance supernatural josei, and it is a very good one. It's about how this male is trying to woo this female whose husband died. She works at a flower shop. He starts working there as well part-time, and slowly their relationship starts advancing. But the funny thing is, her ex-husband is actually a ghost that's trying to prevent their relationship from growing. And the only person that could see this ghost of her past husband is the dude that is in love with the wife of the ghost. So there's a hilarious moments. Episode 2 just came out today and I loved it. Very, very funny parts of how the ghost husband is trying to block him and all that kind of stuff. Remember, in a few other videos, I mentioned that, when is another good romance anime gonna come? When? We haven't got a good one in so long. Well, I'm gonna stop crying because a good one has come, finally. Because this is a good one that I recommend everyone to check out. Next one is Oda Nobuna no Yabo. Now, this is a series that is very similar to Sengoku Otome that came out last year, how a girl went back into past and found out that all of the people of Japan's history are actually females, like Oda Nobunaga and all those other people, which is pretty much the same concept with this series, because that's what happens with the main character. He goes back into the past, and it turns out that Oda Nobunaga is actually a girl named Obuna. I actually enjoyed this one. I'm not gonna say this is like an amazing series, because it's definitely not, but it's something that I was getting enjoyment from watching. I wasn't like, oh, when is it gonna end? I actually enjoyed some parts from it, but still, it's not something that I'd completely recommend to other people, but it's something I'm gonna continue watching. Maybe it's gonna get a lot better, maybe it's gonna get a lot worse, who knows, we'll see. Next one is Rinne no Lagrange Season 2, and yeah, that's a Season 2 to Season 1 of Rinne no Lagrange. What else can you say? It's pretty much the same thing. Muginami's trying to kill everybody, she hates everybody, I don't know, she's having her period all the time, I don't even know, but yeah, same thing as the first season, just continuation. Next one is Sword Art Online. Now, wow, I don't have words. I seriously do not have words, because this series has blown my mind. It's just like, I read a bit of the light novels and I totally love them. They're probably one of my favorite novels overall, and I was looking forward to this anime for so long, and seeing that it was actually well done, a very good adaptation from the light novels, just made me like jump around in happiness, because wow, the first episode was just amazing. And I'm not the only one that's saying that. This is probably one of the fastest rising ranked anime in my anime list, because after the first episode, it was already ranked number 31 on myanimelist.net, which is pretty crazy. It's about an MMO, and he's actually in the MMO, he's stuck in the MMO, he dies in the MMO, he has to beat the MMO to get out. That's a brief explanation I'm gonna give you. Check it out. You must check it out. If you're watching this video, if you're a fan of my videos, if you like my stuff, check it out. If you gotta take a recommendation from me, this is the recommendation you gotta take. Check out Sword Art Online. Best anime of summer season, no doubt. Oh yeah, Sword Art Online, great series. Next one is Tanken Driland, which is an anime by Toei Animation that does One Piece and such, and this is a kind of a kiddie anime. It's for kids. It's obviously for kids, with like all the characters are chibi and all that kind of stuff, and it's an action anime, which so far is not that bad. It's one of those that just like lay back and watch whenever. I'm probably not gonna even keep up with this series really every week, but it's definitely something that I like, since it definitely has that nostalgia feel in it from the first episode. It is for the kid inside of me. And last but not least, Tari Tari. This is an anime by PA Works, and it's another music school anime. It's about this girl who isn't allowed to sing in her school choir, so she decides to start her own choir in the school as a separate club. And the first episode wasn't that great. It was good. The animation is pretty damn awesome. I love the animation. But the actual content of the first episode wasn't that great. It was enjoyable, but it didn't catch my attention until I watched episode 2, where they actually sang. And seriously, I don't know if I was watching it at 6 a.m. That's the reason why I totally like, touched my heart, but it touched my heart. So definitely check this out if you like music anime and just general slice of life anime, because this is definitely a good one that I cannot wait to see more of. So yeah guys, that is the 20 anime that I have started watching this season. I'm probably not gonna finish every single one of them, but I do plan to finish most of them and have reviews out for most of them by the end of the summer season, as I'm doing with the spring animes that have ended. So if any of those caught your attention, then make sure to check them out, and if you are checking some out, then make sure to leave me your thoughts and comments in the comment section below, and also let me know what your top 3 anime of the summer season is. Would like to know what your guys' favorites are so far. This video is probably the longest video I have on my YouTube channel at the moment, because I just had so much to say about these animes. A lot of people are hating on the summer season, and I am also one of those people that is hating on the summer season, since not that many great anime have come out this summer season, but the great ones that have come out are just amazing. Sword Art Online, Natsuyuki Rendezvous, Utakoi, those are just great and are just top of the line, probably gonna end up in my top 10 favorite anime of 2012 series. But yeah guys, looking forward to reading your guys' comments below. I'm Yokurama, Facebook and Twitter in the description below, so don't forget to like and follow me there. Make sure to favorite this video guys if you have enjoyed it, because it helps me out a lot and I really do appreciate it. And if you are watching me for the very first time and you like what you see and you want to see more, then make sure to click the subscribe button up there to see more. And baby, I'm out. Peace.